Okay, so in this video, I'll be talking about of me, like why I dropped a class, an English class in college, right? Well, usually I'm very successful in class. Usually I pass class all the time. I work very hard, pass class, but this class I'm failing and I have to drop. And there's a reason behind why I have to drop this class. Well, yeah, so technically it's technically not my fault, but it could be my fault of like, oh, why I have to drop this class. And I did not want to do it. Okay, so so the professor I pick for this semester, he is very difficult. Just a few days ago, I have to drop off this class. Yeah, and honestly, I don't want to mention his name is because I don't because I do not want him to find out that if he watched this video, if I mention this professor's name, what if this professor like watch my video, then he could flag down because I just talk a lot about negative things about him or things that he does not want to be heard in this video. Things I talk nasty about him, but I'm not gonna say anything like stupid about him or anything, but let me talk to you about this professor. Of like how he makes his course so difficult. Okay, so he requires you to do a lot of homework. He gives a lot of homework and most of his assignments are so difficult. This is why, and he gives like too many specific instructions. This is why this professor is difficult. And that's what caused me to drop off his class. I honestly did try to pass this course, but he's still failing me. It's because, man, I don't write well in English. I don't communicate well in English, so this guy just wants to fail me, this professor. Yeah, so let me talk to you about this professor of why he's difficult. And he's also very picky too, right? So if you make like a small error in writing or something, if you just make like small grammar, he subtract like a lot of point. Which is why he's considered difficult. I mean, this professor is very picky, right? He takes off like every little thing of like of a mistake you make. And also when you turn in like your work and if it's not correct, sometimes make you do redo, and when you turn in late, he just subtract like points off. And when you take this professor's course, he requires you to only write pens, not pencil. I'm like, this is a ridiculous professor. He's like too specific on everything, which I cannot follow all of his instruction. Like, he just gives too many instruction, and this is why it's so difficult for me, and I'm very stressed out too. Oh, like when I have to turn in document, the name and an English class number. When I put my name in English class number, it has to be in the right hand corner. I mean, it doesn't matter where I put, but he just wants it a specific, like where I should place my name in. He subtract point for that just for putting my name in the wrong place of the paper. I'm like, what the heck, man? This professor, he's just ridiculous. And knows that yeah, this professor is very strict, and he expect a lot from his student. Me, when he like go over his lectures are usually very short compared to any other professor in college that I know. Usually professor lecture about like 1 hour and 40 minutes, but this professor like teach only like half of the time and expect a lot from you. I mean, he just want to make the lecture short, so he purposely want to make it difficult for students, so he just feel like he doesn't want to teach or anything. Well, he does done his job, but he just goes it quick. I got a feeling that this professor doesn't care for his students just to pass his course. I don't think he cares. That's why he makes it so difficult. But in my opinion, especially so if whoever take that difficult professor, it's gonna be difficult for anybody, including me. Even regular student without autism or disability, they struggle with class and got a D in this class. But I have autism and I struggle communicating. I'm struggling with English. I'm struggling with writing. There's no way I can pass this professor class, because he expects like really good writing and really good in everything, really good in grammar stuff. I know that I am not strong in English. English is not my area. This is why I'm failing English. I'm not gonna lie to you about this, but I try everything. I try everything just to pass this class, even if this professor is difficult. No, I know it's difficult, but I try everything and I'm still failing his class. Okay, so I try and get as many help as I can. I get help from the tutor, from my tutor in school, and get help from my mom, and they're trying to help me, and I'm not successful. I gave up everything. I sacrificed everything. And this is why I don't go on YouTube so often. I have to spend so much time on studying English, and I'm still not passing. And now I have to drop this English class, which I did not want to do. I thought that it's okay to keep going, but I have to drop. I have to make a decision. I have to drop. I don't want to stress out too much more. I don't want to waste too much more time, because I know that if I don't drop the class, I'll probably get a D I'll probably get a D or F in this class. And by getting bad grade in your class, it's gonna affect my GPA. Not only gonna affect my GPA, it's gonna go on my record. My record's gonna look bad. Because getting a D and F in college, it's not gonna look good in your record, even if I gain 1 or D or F. I mean, in order to pass like any course in college, you need at least a C or higher. While D or lower is not gonna pass the course. It's not. So I have proof that I try everything just to pass this class. This difficult professor's class. Hello YouTubers, so I have very bad news. You see, look at my writing, see? I mean this is for example, right? Oh, have you heard of William, oh, where is it? Yeah, William A. Henry essay, right? This essay is so difficult to read, and I hardly understand anything, and I have to get help just to understand this article. And this professor assigns me to critique on, like, he wants me to write an essay and critique on like why William A. Henry is wrong about this or something. But when I read William A. Henry essay assigned by this professor, I hardly understand. And sometimes it will take me like 3 or 4 hours just to understand one page. But luckily I get help. But even though I understand everything, even though I've been practicing like writing like 2 or 3 weeks, I still get 68 on my essay with like perfect grammar and everything. See, I mean, my grammar looks so perfect, I mean, when I write, but it's just that the professor's so difficult. If I write well in any, like, English class, I can pass any English class, but it's just the professor just, it's just so ridiculously difficult. And I got, like, I don't know, like a D. I got like 60 out of 100 on this essay. I mean, just look at this essay, it looks, you can tell that I tried really hard just by skimming through this. And this professor is still flunking me. I mean, he just gave like comment of like, why, yeah, but when he gives me feedback, okay, so he gives out the reason like why I got this kind of grade. So why paragraph do not contain limited integrated quotation. Oh my god, I'm even missing quotation, which he probably didn't mention in class, but I didn't pay attention. But which was important and mentioned in class quite a bit and shown in the sample given. There are some actually wording issue which interfere with the content and flow of idea at some critical moment. I couldn't find these error, and I don't understand like why I deserve this grade. I should deserve a higher grade, at least a C or above, but when you read this essay it looks good, but I got a 68. I mean, this professor, I honestly think he's even tougher than some professor at the university. I honestly think he's even more difficult. Yes. I think when you go to the same college as I am, and you probably know this professor is difficult. Everybody knows this professor is difficult. That's why they all try to avoid him. And I didn't know that professor is difficult. That's why when I take this course, I see like, I wonder why there's only a few students taking that class, and people just try to avoid this professor. He's difficult. He's too specific. He's picky. He subtract like every little thing, like 5 or 10 points. Yeah, I gotta tell you that, man. That's why he's difficult. You just, like when you go to college, just avoid like choosing like difficult professor. Just avoid that professor that is too picky on you. Yeah. And I'm trying to guess like why this professor is so difficult. The reason why he's so difficult is because he just wants like student out of his course, or he just doesn't want the student pass his course, or something like that. So this is why I have to sacrifice a lot of time in my studying. This is why I don't have time to visit my friend or anything. I don't have time to exercise. I don't have time to do anything but study, man. But now I'm free. This is why I'm gonna be back on YouTube, and this is why I don't go YouTube that often, and you've been wondering why. Remember how I upload video like mentioning like earlier, like that I'm taking a really difficult course and I don't have time to do YouTube and all that stuff, but now I have a lot more time since I'm free from this class. Oh my god, this class was hell for me. Just so much work, and assignments so difficult and too much time consuming, and my grades still got nowhere. It's always gonna be D or lower. I ain't never gonna get a C in that class. That's the problem, man. And the problem of dropping this class is that now I might graduate later now, or 1 semester late. So when you go to college, I recommend you to avoid difficult professor, because if you don't avoid difficult professor, you're gonna waste time and you're gonna waste money. You have to go drop the class, or if you decide not to drop class, you're gonna continue like working hard to pass this difficult course, which you couldn't do. You're gonna get bad GPA, and it's gonna be a lot of negative effect. So I recommend whoever watches video, or any student who still goes to school, watch this video, avoid difficult professors. Please, man. You don't want to get into this mess. Because it's a lot of responsibility you have to take when you drop a class. Yes, luckily that I dropped this class very early, or else I can't do late start course. And if I can't do late start course, I'm just gonna waste a lot of time and graduate like 1 or 2 semester late. Then then I spent extra like 1-2 semester in college, which sucks, man. Waste time and money. Oh well, man. I learned my lesson. So I'll give you a few tips like how to avoid difficult professors. So you go to ratemyprofessor.com, and whatever professor you sign up to, please search on that professor and read the comment below of what the people say about this professor. And if you see a lot of like negative comment about this professor, don't take this professor. Or if this professor is good and have good rates and everybody likes this professor, take that professor. Okay? Sorry, I have to drop the class, which I have never done in my life. I have never ever done this, because I honestly hate failing a class, right? So this is why people drop. School gives you an option to drop so you can avoid getting like bad grade, and you just don't want to deal with the course if it's too difficult for you, right? Or if you're just taking too much course and you don't have time to do all that homework, just drop one course to make less work for you. So hopefully you like this video. Sorry I have a hard time explaining because I'm all stressed out from that course. This course is just too hard for me. And sorry I have to like quit YouTube for a while, mainly because I have to deal with this difficult professor. But anyway, man, I know that I could have got more subscribers because I could have like upload like more better video rather than getting stressed and spend all that time on wasting all my time for nothing. I could have got a little more subscribers with YouTube, but yeah, this English course is ruining me. And I thought I'm gonna pass, but I didn't realize how difficult this professor is. He's the most difficult professor I ever taken in my life. He's the most difficult professor I ever heard. My gosh. Well, hope that doesn't happen to you, but whoever watched this video should be aware, should know like why you should not take this difficult professor. He's just too pacific. He just doesn't care about a student. Okay? This is how I feel. So hopefully you make the right choice. Oh yeah, and I forgot one thing. Why I picked this professor? Just to match with my time or something like that. But I just can't explain. I just have a hard time explaining. Anyway, I'm gonna end this video off here. Hope you like it, but you hopefully no more bad news coming up. Well, I got a lot more bad news to say after this video. Goodbye.